As various sports organizations plan their return during the coronavirus pandemic, the Premier Lacrosse League kicks off their competition this weekend. The league will host a quarantine two-week tournament in Utah, and it starts this Saturday. Joining us now is Paul Rabel, the co-founder of the Premier Lacrosse League, as well as an athlete on one of the teams. Paul, great to speak with you.
Great to speak with you as well.
Much like the NBA is doing in Orlando, there's a bubble, there's constant testing, there's a quarantine. How difficult was it to make that decision to go back and play, even if it's just for 2 weeks, when you weigh the risks and the rewards? What was that thinking like?
It was a lot of thinking, and there were daily executive stand-ups. There was consulting across all leagues, and we built an external medical committee that advised us, consisted of internal disease doctors and infectious disease experts. And at the forefront, we needed to make sure that the health and safety of the players were right. And then on the outcome, we decided that this quarantine fanless model was an attempt for us to really rescue two big aspects of pro sports as an industry, and that's viewership and sponsorship, foregoing ticket sales and the rest. So for us, getting our labor force back to work and then consulting with other leagues, we were able to be a little bit more nimble as a startup league, having fewer teams. Our all-in personnel is 300. We're in the middle of our medical testing now. I'm here in my hotel room going through the second stage, and we're pretty confident that this is going to be a success.
Hey, Paul, it's Dan. Glad to have you guys back in play. You just mentioned, kind of rescuing live sports. There's a lot of demand for it right now because, for the most part, we just haven't had any. But let's take a step back to, why does the PLL exist? You were obviously in another league. You were dominating. What is it? Was it about the growth of lacrosse, or was it something broader about sports and content?
Yeah. Hey, Dan. Thanks, and great to see you. It's a combination of both. Lacrosse has these macro elements that have proven its continual growth, both internationally and then domestically, if you look at youth participation. But for us as business people, we looked at the sports industry as an enterprise sector now. And it used to be more of a vanity play where you'd have billionaire owners come in and invest in something that they care about. Now, if you look at sports widely, it's a media enterprise. You have an events business that sells tickets. You have sponsorship. You have merchandise, which has taken off as you look at content to commerce. And then you have youth sports. Each of those 5 categories are billion-dollar market cap sectors on their own. So you're seeing a lot of strategic capital going in. Then you layer on the last piece, which we're in an attention economy. And the last standing firewall for appointment viewing television is sports. It's the only form of content that we have to watch live, which benefits advertisers and then the end user. So it's a very authentic industry that I think is the most attractive right now as you look at this continued emergence in the attention economy.
Hey, Paul, it's Tim. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all you're doing for lacrosse. Watch out for the Hoyas regionally there in Lax. My question is about TV contracts, because if people saw that Whipsticks final and Matt Rambo and how exciting that was, they'd pay a lot of money for it. And I think a lot of people just have to watch lacrosse. Talk about how you see this next kind of round of discussions going with networks and over the top and online, and again, maybe a less conventional sports contract in the media.
Yeah, well, it's a great question. So we're seeing a lot happening all at once between the launch of Peacock, who NBC is our partner, to E+ and Disney+, and then HBO Max, now turned to HBO Go. And you're looking at these networks, specifically addressing the MVPDs and the shift to the value and the discernment going to the consumer with on-demand. Live sports, as I said, last standing firewall for appointment television, which television's about advertisers. That's how they make money, unless you also offer an OTT product and it's a subscription service. So we're seeing that hybrid rollout. And sports now are going to continue to capture larger media rights deal in a combination of live television viewership as well as exclusive games behind that network's paywall. So you're going to see, as what we do with NBC, 70% of this tournament that we're showcasing that begins on July 25th and goes through August 9th of our games are on television, which is disproportionately valuable for us as a new league versus the NBA that already has an established audience. We need to be on TV. That other 30% is on NBC Sports Gold, so we can drive more revenue back to our network partner. The last piece is social media. So social media, digital, even CMS as a new medium is where a lot of attention is being aggregated. So how are leagues and how are businesses using those platforms to promote, to drive eyeballs to screen?